right, Dan. Influencers sometimes come in a second. Sometimes they're a lifetime. Sometimes you don't even know, type of thing. We've all had influence. I had my grandfather. I always tell the story, was from Kiev. My grandmother, mom, and whatnot had an accent. And one, I remember times him walking me in the park when I was 5 or 6, and he would talk to everybody. And I asked him, hey, how do you know all these people? And he said, well, one day I smiled at one, and the guy smiled back, and then he started talking to me. So I talked to him with the accent that he says it, and then someone else smiled, and so on and so forth. And I understood it for a 5 or 6 year old. I did understand it, but I understood it even more as I went on. So that was an influencer for me, and many more. Can you share 2 or 3 people that have been influencers in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the influencers locally that comes to mind is someone by the name of Joe Coletti. And he founded the Office of Urban Initiatives, and it's a nonprofit, and it's focused on addressing homelessness on a systemic level. And when I was getting involved with like the local city work, he really kind of took me under his wing and kind of ushered me into this opportunity to work at a local civic level, and revealed kind of like how things work in politics. And that really like shaped me in understanding how to like connect with people that I may not understand fully, or like maybe in a different mindset than I am, but when we work together we can get something done. And so he taught me how to put these committees together, and out of that we were able to help reduce homelessness in Pasadena by 50% under Joe's influence and leadership. And so it's become a model now for LA County, and they're starting to mirror what we've done here in Pasadena by pulling together different faith leaders to work with the civic government leaders. And so I think for me, Joe was someone that is like wasn't afraid to go and push back these systemic issues that just feel overwhelming. And now he's doing it at a state level for the state of California. So that was inspiring. Another influencer for me in the church world, Mark DeMoss. He was one of the. He's known for starting a skateboarding park church that drew in a bunch of skateboarders, and I think that was Northwest area, but really went on to inspire a multicultural movement within the churches, with a focus on bringing together people of all colors. And people of different economic backgrounds. And you know how it is in the faith world, how we segregate, right? They say Sunday morning is one of the most segregated times of the week because we do that naturally. And so Mark DeMoss has been out there really kind of pushing forward a multicultural approach to community, and especially for churches to embrace that as well. And with that, he learned that church economics is critical because you have to innovate when you're doing something new within that kind of that culture. And so I've learned from him how to approach church economics differently, which was to inspire me to go do a cafe and to do something different than just what we normally would do in ministry. And that was all through Mark's work. And then lastly, just someone I'd love to read, Father Greg Boyle, Homeboy Industries. I got to meet him once as he was a speaker, but obviously, the encouragement I saw from his work with the gang members of LA getting jobs inspired me to go on. And then his books are just, such a good read, and really speak to like the the humanity that's involved in all of this, and just kind of like brings that back to reality. And so Father Greg Boyle is another influencer for me.
Great choices. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's great choices.